2026 World Cup is about to begin. 48 nations, hundreds of the world's greatest players, the biggest football tournament in history. But here's the thing. Some of the most extraordinary footballers on the planet will not be there. Not because they weren't good enough. Not because they didn't try. Because injuries struck at the worst possible moment. Because qualifying campaigns collapsed. Because footballing fate, as it so often does, showed absolutely no mercy. So today, we're asking a question that has kept football fans awake since the draw was made. If you took every player who is missing from the 2026 World Cup, every single one, and built the best possible 11, what would that team look like? And more importantly, just how good would they be? Welcome to Everything About Football. Before we begin, let us be clear about one thing. Every player in this 11 is confirmed absent from the 2026 World Cup. Every reason, injury, failed qualification, elimination, is real and verified. These are not hypotheticals. These are genuine losses for the tournament. And by the end of this video, you may well be asking whether this team is better than some of the 48 that actually made it. Let's build the XI. For the goalkeeper position, we have three candidates. First, Gianluigi Donnarumma, the Paris Saint-Germain shot stopper, Italy's captain. Widely regarded as one of the 2 or 3 best goalkeepers in the world right now. Italy have failed to qualify for a third consecutive World Cup, a disaster of historic proportions for a football nation of their stature. And Donnarumma, who was extraordinary at Euro 2020, who has been the foundation of one of Europe's most dominant club sides, will once again watch the tournament from home. He is 26 years old. He is at the absolute peak of his powers. Second, Jan Oblak, the Slovenian veteran. For over a decade, Oblak has been one of the most reliable goalkeepers on the planet. Slovenia failed to advance from their qualifying group, finishing behind Switzerland. Oblak, now 32, may never get another chance at a World Cup. Third, Ivan Provedel, a quality goalkeeper and another Italian casualty, a symbol of the extraordinary depth of talent that Italy's absence is costing this tournament. Our pick, Gianluigi Donnarumma. No argument. The best goalkeeper at this World Cup is not playing at this World Cup. Italy's absence is football's tragedy, and Donnarumma is its most painful symbol. He goes between the sticks. For right back, 3 candidates. First, Ilya Zabarnyi. The Bournemouth defender has been exceptional in the Premier League and was a key figure for Ukraine, who were eliminated in the European playoffs. Zabarnyi is fast, composed, and excellent in one-on-one situations. Second, Reece James. The Chelsea captain missed out on England's squad after a difficult injury-plagued season. Thomas Tuchel made one of the most controversial calls of the entire qualification cycle by leaving him at home. Third, Jeremy Frimpong. The Bayer Leverkusen fullback, but the Netherlands qualified, so he cannot feature here. Our pick, Ilya Zabarnyi. Ukraine's heartbreaking elimination from the playoffs is one of qualifying's great injustices. Zabarnyi was the engine of their defensive structure. He starts at right back. For the 2 center-back positions, we have 6 candidates to consider. Alessandro Bastoni, the Inter Milan colossus. Left-footed, technically supreme, capable of stepping out of defense to begin attacks with the same elegance as a midfielder. Italy's failure to qualify means one of Europe's most complete defenders will sit this World Cup out entirely. Riccardo Calafiori, the Arsenal defender who was arguably Italy's best player in their failed qualifying campaign. 22 years old. Bold, aggressive, excellent with the ball. Another casualty of the Azzurri's decline. We also consider Jaka Bijol of Slovenia, Ilya Zabarnyi centrally, and Oleksandr Zinchenko in a more advanced role. But our center-back partnership is clear. Our picks, Alessandro Bastoni and Riccardo Calafiori, an all-Italian center-back partnership which is both ironic and devastating. 2 of Serie A's finest defenders, 2 members of a team that will not be in North America. They partner at the heart of this defense. For left back, the standout candidate is Federico Di Marco. Inter Milan's attacking left back, Italy's most dynamic wide defender, excellent delivery, dangerous from set pieces, relentless in his energy going forward. He walks straight into this team. 3 Italian defenders in the back 4, a monument to one nation's collective misfortune. Now we reach the midfield, and this is where the 11 becomes truly extraordinary. Dominik Szoboszlai, the Liverpool captain, the most valuable player not at this World Cup according to Transfermarkt. Hungary failed to qualify despite having arguably their best player in a generation. Szoboszlai is a complete midfielder, box-to-box, technically immaculate, a leader. Sandro Tonali, the Newcastle midfielder. After his ban, after his return, after becoming one of the Premier League's most commanding central players, Tonali will not be at the World Cup. Italy's absence robs the tournament of one of its most competitive, combative, and technically gifted midfielders, Niccolò Barella, Inter Milan's engine. The three-time Serie A champion who drives the tempo of every game he plays in. Another Italian, another absence. Our midfield three, Szoboszlai, Tonali, and Barella. Szoboszlai drives from deep. Tonali destroys and distributes. Barella connects everything. This might be the most complete midfield trio not at the World Cup, arguably better than the midfields of several nations who are actually there. On to the right wing. Kvaratskhelia, the PSG superstar. The player who was arguably the best performer in the Champions League this season. Georgia failed to qualify despite his best efforts, losing 4 of their final 5 games in a group containing Spain and Turkey. He is 23 years old. He has never played at a World Cup. He may be the single greatest individual loss of this tournament. Rodrigo, the Real Madrid winger who ruptured his ACL in La Liga against Getafe. Brazil will be at the World Cup, but their most creative wide player will not. Bryan Mbeumo, explosive, direct, an outstanding finisher. Cameroon's elimination means Mbeumo, one of the Premier League's best players this season, misses out. Our pick on the right, Kvaratskhelia, we simply cannot leave him out. The best winger not at this World Cup, and one of the best players in the world, full stop. On the left wing, 3 candidates. Hugo Ekitike, the Liverpool forward who ruptured his Achilles tendon against PSG in April. He left the pitch in tears, 22 years old, 17 goals before the injury. He was forcing his way into the France squad conversation. Now he faces months of recovery. Ademola Lookman, Nigeria's 2024 African Footballer of the Year. Nigeria failed to qualify after a shock playoff defeat to the Democratic Republic of Congo. Lookman has been one of Europe's most dangerous attacking players. Xavi Simons, the Netherlands winger who ruptured his ACL in late April. The Netherlands qualified, but Simons will not be there. Our pick on the left, Ademola Lookman. His creativity, his pace, his ability to cut inside and finish, he is the perfect wide player for this system. And finally, the striker, Victor Osimhen, the Galatasaray striker, Nigeria's talisman. One of the most physically dominant and technically gifted center forwards in world football. When Nigeria lost to DR Congo in the playoffs, Osimhen's World Cup dream died with it. He has never played at a World Cup. He may never get another chance. Robert Lewandowski, the Barcelona legend. Poland lost to Sweden in the European playoff final, potentially ending Lewandowski's World Cup career. He is 37. This may have been his last realistic opportunity. Rasmus Højlund, the Manchester United striker whose Denmark side lost in the playoff final on penalties to Czechia, only 22 years old. Our pick, Victor Osimhen. We respect Lewandowski's legacy. It is immense. But Osimhen is in the prime of his career, at the peak of his powers, and represents the very peak of what a modern center forward can be. He leads the line. Let's bring it all together. Formation 4-3-3. Goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma, Italy. Right back Ilya Zabarnyi, Ukraine. Center back Alessandro Bastoni, Italy. Center back Riccardo Calafiori, Italy. Left back Federico Di Marco, Italy. Central midfield Sandro Tonali, Italy. Central midfield Dominik Szoboszlai, Hungary. Central midfield Niccolò Barella, Italy. Right wing Kvaratskhelia, Georgia. Left wing Ademola Lookman, Nigeria. Striker Victor Osimhen, Nigeria. 6 Italians, 2 Nigerians. 1 Georgian, 1 Hungarian, 1 Ukrainian. This is not just a strong team. This is a team that would compete with any of the 48 nations at the 2026 World Cup. And that perhaps is the most damning verdict of all. Not just on the injuries, not just on the failed qualifications, but on the brutal, unforgiving nature of football itself. The best players don't always get the biggest stages. Sometimes the tournament goes on without them, and the rest of us are left wondering what could have been. That is football, and that is why we love it. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Everything About Football for more analysis, history, and debate. The beautiful game in all its depth.